Hey, Facebook Live. How's it going? How's life? I'm here with Lauren.
Hey.
She's going to be the first guest for the Geaux Rouge show today. We're about to kick this off in about 5-6 seconds, maybe 10. You want to do a mic check real fast?
Mic check, 1, 2, 3. Mic check.
One more time, please.
Mic check, 1, 2, 3. Mic check.
Hippopotamus.
For Christmas.
Oh, that song. So before we go live, I want to bring up a topic that's a little sensitive to me.
Okay.
The Baby It's Cold Outside song.
Are you going to go there with me right now? That's where we're starting
So
from?
I was in Las Vegas this
Okay.
weekend, and Blurred Lines was playing, and I said, this is the rapey song. Because Blurred Lines is a rapey song. You don't have to comment. Don't comment, Lauren. So then someone said, yeah, this is rapey like Baby It's Cold Outside. And I'm like, I never made the connection. So now we'll talk about this tomorrow. Law. All right, Geaux Rouge. Well, this is not a part of the show. I wanted to.
Yeah, I'm happy to talk about this on Legally Served tomorrow morning, but I don't know how it's a legal question yet. So
It's not.
okay.
I don't know where I was
All right.
going with that. I'm in a straight place.
I thought we were going to talk about Californian alligators.
We are going to talk about Californian alligators. We can talk about the law on that one.
How about
Old
that?
law, no exemptions.
How about
Legally served. Brian Haldane, 6:35 tomorrow morning on Talk 107.3.
that? Boosh.
All right, you ready?
I'm ready. Are you ready?
This is Franz Borghardt for the Geaux Rouge Show. This is episode 5. I've got Brian Haldane behind Master Controls. How you doing, Brian?
You almost have an intro, too. We got so close.
Dude, I'm
Voice
so
guy-
excited. It's like
Okay.
almost real.
Voice guy actually got Go Right, but called it Rogue. So I don't know if it's...
Where's
totally
he
love to
from?
show my...
do what?
Where's he from?
Houston.
Can I change the name of my show to Go
But
Rogue?
still, I think he thought there was a misspelling where there wasn't. So R-O-G-U-E would have been Rogue. R-O-U-G-E would be Rouge, and he just
I'm going
tanked.
to go reserve trademark on Go Rogue after I get done here.
There you go.
So the Geaux Rouge Show is a show that showcases the best parts of Baton Rouge. We got a great lineup today, Brian. We got Lauren Westbrook. Wave.
Hello. Hi.
We've got some folks from Club Blue, one of my favorite organizations. They're going to be talking about some of the great stuff up they're doing for the Boys and Girls Club. We got Adam Knapp from BRAC. Always a fan of Adam. We've got Meredith in the second half. We've got Meredith Waguespack talking Sweet Baton Rouge. Sell some great clothing as well as doing some fitness stuff. And then to wrap this show up today, Brian, we have Jen Tormo, the editor of 225 Magazine. We're going to be talking about hot new restaurants in Baton Rouge. Before we start, though, the Geaux Rouge Show is brought to you by the following sponsors. Sullivan's Steakhouse. Please go do their Thirsty Thursday. You know, Brian, we do Thirsty Thursday Facebook Lives at Sullivan's. It's always good. They have the knockout cocktail. It's great. Louisiana Tech Park, the law offices of Smith, Shanklin, and Sosa, one of our go-to personal injury law firms. Realtor Brittany Melanson at Keller Williams Red Stick, and then also the Borghardt Law Firm. All right. That's a lot. That's a mouthful. Going rogue. I like it. So Lauren Westbrook is one of my favorite news people in Baton Rouge, and I'm not just saying that because I had Jared on earlier, and I would tell Jared that to his face. You're no Lauren Westbrook.
I love Jaren.
I love Jared. Awesome. So Lauren is at WAFB, but I'm not here to talk about WAFB. I'm here to talk about all the other stuff you do when you're not hustling and doing great news. WAFB is one of my favorite news channels. So Lauren, tell them a little bit about yourself.
Let's see. I got here in 2011.
Okay.
I came from a station in Waco, Texas. I was there for a few years after graduating from, wait for it, the University of Oklahoma.
That's
I'm sorry.
That's precious.
This is the worst year ever to be an OU grad in Baton Rouge.
Right.
I did not ever prepare myself.
Although
for
I
that.
will say this, I met several OU fans this weekend in Las Vegas, and they were all super nice, and we all agreed that somebody needs to take the Ohio State University down hard.
There you go. I'm all about
I
that.
bonded with some of them, so you're at a safe spot right now.
I've become an adopted Tiger fan, but always an OU alum.
You're like Boro. You're like Joe.
Exactly. I'm the adopted daughter in Louisiana.
There you go. So, okay. I like having people on the show that are storytellers that never have their stories really told. And when you're doing the news at WAFB, we don't really talk about you. We're talking about all the stuff that's going on in the city. So I wanted to have you on because I want to talk. Look, I'm looking at all the stuff you're doing. You just got an award as one of the top women in our city Right. What was that award?
It was the Women Crush Wednesday Award. Tiffany Dickerson put on this awesome program with the mayor, and the first lady actually had a letter drafted for each one of us, and it was women from all different parts of the city, different backgrounds, who volunteer in different capacities, and it was her first event. It was all about lifting each other up, and it was really empowering. It was cool.
For those on Facebook, go to episode 2. We had Tiffany on to talk about this, but that's not it, right? You do Susan G. Komen, you do Race for the Cure with them, Lip Sync. You volunteered for that?
I volunteered for that because we had this amazing group. Michael Vansaw, one of our producers, Carmen Poe, who's one of our reporters, and a couple of backup dancers, Boo Milton, who's really involved in the community, and Dylan Collins. They won the whole thing, so I was a ringer in the audience with a little
what did
bucket.
They sing?
They got a perfect score, by the way, for Can't Touch This. They sang
Hey Ya.
Yeah, Hey Ya, and then they did like a mashup with Whip My Hair Back and Forth and all these others, Michael Jackson and all kinds of things.
So I'm saving a choreographed dance I have by CNC Music Factory. I'm saving it for the right charity event. You know, if BRAC, we're going to have Adam Knapp on next. If BRAC has a charity lip sync event, maybe I'll pull the CNC Music Factory out of the back pocket. But
put that in the wheelhouse. Yeah.
So in addition to all that, Club Blue, which is how I kind of got to know you better. I knew you from, so for those who don't know, I'm a criminal defense attorney, and I sometimes represent people that are on the news. And in fact, my one claim to fame in the city is I did the Alton Sterling commentary on WAFB, Brian. But that I got to really know you from Club Blue. What is your role with Club Blue? What is Club Blue? Talk to us about that.
And by the way, yes, that was my first memory with you, and outstanding, helping us with our coverage, by the way, with Alton Sterling. But Club Blue, when I first moved here, was really the first group that wrapped their arms around me and had a cause that I was passionate about. Is a branch of young professionals of the Boys and Girls Club. It's young people who get together with each other and with the kids to raise money and awareness for what these children need. And it is so important. After-school programs, the relationships the volunteers build with the kids. It was really impressive to me when I first came here how involved people my age at the time in my early 20s were with this organization.
Well, speaking of Club Blue, we have some leaders from Club Blue.
I
we
got
have
my
Joe
friends.
and Helen.
Yeah.
Now look, when you guys come and talk in the microphone, you got to own this thing. You got to talk right into it.
All right, we can do it.
So Joe, Helen, Lauren, all part of Club Blue. And look, I love Club Blue. I was one of their Great Future Gala honorees. My plaque wasn't nearly as cool as the WCW plaque. And that is not World Championship Wrestling. That is Women's Crush
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Women's Crush Wednesday.
So, guys, thank you guys for being on. Joe, Helen, we have some great stuff going on with Club Blue that helps and benefits the Boys and Girls Club of Baton Rouge, right?
Yes.
So tell us what's on deck with Club Blue.
Go ahead.
All right. Well, coming up, our biggest fundraiser of the year, the Great Futures Gala. It is on March 28th, 2020, and it's basically has been referred to as adult prom, a wedding reception minus the wedding. We got the band, open bar, dancing, silent auction, great time. We have 15 honorees.
Right.
So
some
really
heavy hitters.
Yes, and Franz was a previous honoree last year, and Lauren, she was our first
class.
She was the first class, so we're in our 4th year coming up. And
all
so
the proceeds go to
Yes.
Boys and Girls Club of Baton Rouge.
Baton Rouge. So all the money that you're giving and supporting stays in the community, which
Helen,
is great.
I love the venue too. The
the
venue
Shaw
is so
Center.
beautiful.
It's
amazing.
not just the Shaw Center. It's an area of the Shaw Center that you don't normally get to go to.
Right, that 4th floor terrace.
Oh, my goodness, it's nice. It's
Beautiful.
Yes.
nice. So if people want more information about Club Blue, where are they going to go, Joe?
We have our own page through the Boys and Girls Club. It's brclubs.org, and there's a Club Blue tab. For more information about the gala, it is Great Futures Gala, br.com. They can get all the information for sponsorships, how to buy tickets, how to support the honorees, and help them fundraise.
So I love this event.
Thank you.
Boys and Girls Club is an organization that's near and dear to me, and it's simple things, right? It's going to have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich with some kids. I was at a dance Jingle Bell Rock event filming our good friend Megan doing some choreographed moves. This is all good stuff for the soul. So I would highly recommend that you guys go to the gala. It's a very good event. You got some food. You get some good drinks.
Sure.
I can say that, right? There's some good adult beverages
Yeah,
there.
the kids aren't there.
Yeah.
It's
We-
21 and older.
So if I were doing the gala, if Shannon and I are going to the gala this year, which we are, I would get to Tsunami early,
Sure.
do some cocktails on the roof,
We do that anyway.
go
Yes.
down to the
Yeah.
gala, do that for several hours. By the way, check out the honorees, because if you buy a ticket, doesn't your $100 contribution goes towards one of the honorees?
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
So, yeah, it's gonna be a great.
We do a lot
we
more
have a great-
stuff than just the gala, though. We, like
God.
like
Well,
Lauren
let's
was
talk.
saying.
Let's go.
And I want to get into it. So
Yeah.
so
We
I
got about 2 minutes. Let's go. Let's roll.
myself and Chelsea Laborde Blankenship founded Club Blue in 2014.
So
and,
why did you guys found this?
Pat Van Berkeley, the president, got a hold of some of the younger folks that were involved, and he saw a need in the community for having younger individuals involved with the Boys and Girls Club and grow up with that as their charity. And there's a lot of young professional organizations out there that touch a lot of needs. The Club Blue just goes for the Boys and Girls Club. Our sole purpose and cause are the kids of the Boys and Girls Club. So right now we try to do about 4 things with the kids and 4 networking and socials with each other, kind of get together and talk about things that we're interested in the community, our professions, things of that nature. But then also, like you said, the ice cream socials, the PB&Js. We do a haunted house with the kids. We did a field day this year with the kids, kind of the end of the school type thing.
And it's also from a networking standpoint, it's one of those organizations that, look, I'm not nearly cool enough to hang out with Helen, but she is hanging out with me right now.
neither. Me
Right?
neither.
Right, Joe? I mean,
Yeah, you know.
Lauren,
She's so
I
impressive.
mean, I've made some great connections. I've met some great folks. Candidly, it's one of my favorite organizations. It's not terribly
Thank you.
expensive to join, right?
No, $60. I've rolled off from being chair. I'm the membership chair now. Helen is our chair,
Yes, I'll be
2019 and 2020 now.
Club Blue leadership chair, and so your $60 is essentially a donation to
Right.
the Boys and Girls Club, and it also provides us, to have these networking events where you can meet other people and just keep everyone engaged and hopefully let them fall in love with Boys and Girls Club of Baton Rouge, and so they'll be lifelong supporters and donors of the organization.
So
I'll
It's easy
say-
to join except for Franz.
Exactly. Franz. I was going to say, Franz, I know there are lots of groups that put a lot of pressure on you, and yes, it's wonderful to stay as involved as you can, but what I love about this group is how low maintenance it is and how you don't feel that pressure. You just want to be involved.
And we're
based
meeting,
off of
all
the
3 of us are
company.
meeting tonight
Absolutely.
at my house for the gala.
Yes, tonight.
Oh, you want to come to
I don't even know what to say to this, guys. So look, Christmas comes early at Geaux Rouge, and so for each of you guys, I have one of the Geaux Rouge hats.
Oh, thank you,
So
Franz.
grab a hat.
Yay.
Thank you.
So Brian Haldane's going to do us a steady and take a photo with one of y'all's cameras.
I kind of have a big head.
Do you have to wear your hat?
No, I'm not going to wear my hat this time. I have a pimp hat that I brought back from Las Vegas that keeps my poor bald head cold. Brian, if you got a cell phone,
Oh, we're doing this.
thank you guys from Club Blue and Lauren for coming on.
Thank you for having
Franz.
us.
Join Club
It's great.
Blue.
Yep, here we go.
All right, well,
Thanks.
we're going to ease out. We're going to ease out. So look, if you're listening, we're about to have Adam Knapp on, but if you're interested in learning more about the Geaux Rouge show, go to the Geaux Rouge page, click like. We're also on Twitter and Instagram. Lauren is totally going to go to the page and invite all her peeps to like the page.
She's the most famous of us all, to be
You know what
honest.
else
True.
is on
That's
Instagram?
true.
Club Blue is on Instagram.
Ooh.
Yes.
And
At Club Blue
Facebook.
BR.
Yes.
At Club Blue BR. on
So
Instagram.
thank you guys. And
Thank
then
you.
as soon as you guys clear, we're going to bring Adam on.
Thanks for having us,
Adam's
Franz.
guys
awesome.
are
He's a
awesome.
great
Bye,
interview.
everybody.
He's not
Stick
nearly
around
as
for
cool
him.
as you, Lauren.
Oh my gosh,
But
stop. Thank you, Franz.
no problem, guys. Come on down, Adam. So there's this organization in Baton Rouge called BRAC, the Baton Rouge Area Chamber. And it's one of those organizations that a lot of people know about, but some people don't. They've never experienced it. So I thought it'd be a good idea to have their leader, their guy, Adam Knapp on. Adam's a great guy. I've only recently got to know him a little bit better. We were at a Pitch BR event. We were both having more fun than we probably should have been having. So look, Adam, thank you for coming on today. I know you're an incredibly busy dude. I know you did Brian Haldane's show this morning.
That's right. Up early, baby.
So
Love it.
I don't want to give Brian grief, but I actually got Adam into the studio. No big deal.
Well, I was busy doing my hair this morning.
yeah.
I couldn't get in at that hour takes me about.
Is this
an
whole
hour.
segment could be y'all trading hair care tips?
That's right. It is.
I wish my hair was as beautiful as Adam's. So look, tell us a little bit. Give us your elevator pitch, if you will, about what is BRAC.
So our organization's mission is to lead economic development for the entire metropolitan region of Baton Rouge and all that requires.
Right.
Not just thinking about what people think typically when they think of economic development is chasing after new businesses to invest in our region, which is an aspect of it.
Right.
But we actually want to make sure that our work is always thinking comprehensively about what it takes to compete with other metros that are our size or larger and to execute at the highest level to do that. That means that we have to think about what makes this region more competitive
Right.
to drive business growth as a metro area, as well as doing the work to help our companies to grow.
So if you're a BRAC investor, if you're a Baton Rouge area chamber investor, what does that mean? What does that mean as a quote unquote investor, which is kind of like being a member?
Yeah. So three big aspects. One, I want to say why we use that word.
Right.
We think that folks that participate in our organization financially should be able to think about it in the context of return on investment.
I like
Not
it.
just membership, but
Right.
being able to participate to know that it is both beneficial to their business and also beneficial to the region in the community in which they operate. Second is we want to make sure that we're driving services back to our investors, to our members, to be able to know that they can derive direct benefits from their participation, either for themselves by what is traditional that you get to network or meet other business leaders, or that you get to actually find some direct service or program that helps you as a company. We offer business education series so you can keep up to date on current changes in terms of business strategy or management. We also try to make sure that we have events that give you information about ways that your community is going to change or needs to change and how you can be involved in helping to lead that change. The third big thing is probably the biggest and hardest one, is that all of the businesses in our region, and this happens across most metro areas in our country, are going to probably be the best at driving long-term change to their region if they
Right.
lift together. And you see that idea of collective impact, that they can invest collectively behind a common mission of what's good for the business area, business community is good for the area, and find a way to help drive those changes, to have a voice to drive those changes, either at a local or state or, if necessary, federal level.
So what's interesting is, and I'm good friends with Logan, who works for you, and Logan's in fact one of my cigar buddies. I hesitate to say that out loud. Sorry, Logan. Shout out, Logan.
Busted.
And it's interesting that, if you're involved with the chamber, it's being involved in multiple connectivity sources, education. I was talking to Logan a lot during the legislative session and watching the things that you guys were doing to help better both the city, both our region, as well as the investors in Baton Rouge. So what I love about your organization is the networking opportunities. I mean, yes, as an entrepreneur, and generally speaking, a law practice is not considered a traditional entrepreneur. It's a profession, but going to the luncheons and hearing, Andrew from LSU talking about research and patents or having other topics, connecting with a whole bunch of people that I never would have met but for being an investor. And people in my organization, in my guild, Brian, they'll say, well, you're a criminal defense attorney. Why are you a member of BRAC? You're the only criminal defense attorney there. And I'm like, yeah, I'm the only criminal defense attorney there. Hopefully I'll never have to represent Adam. I mean, hopefully. But my point is there's a lot of connectivity going on with that. But it's not just luncheons, right? There's cocktail events. You guys do programming. I also am a big fan of, and this is something that people don't, I think, realize, is you have so many, and you touched on it, so many entrepreneur resources that if an entrepreneur is looking for help doing something in their business,
That's right.
you have somebody in your organization that you can contact, talk, vet. When Melissa Thompson was with you, one of the things that we had worked on was having interns. And that was one of the things, and we were talking about the benefits of having interns at your business. So
let me give you three examples of that kind of service.
like
what
it.
I think is that oftentimes it goes missed. It gets missed that there's a lot that a business owner can directly go and take advantage of. So in addition to events, one, we have a person who does customized business research for businesses for whatever it might be that they need to do. A guy named Andrew Fitzgerald on our team is engaged often on a fee-for-service basis even to do customized research. We're paying already for a lot of data, and our thought was if we can drive value to our investors to have access to that data, we want to be able to do so for whatever it is that they're trying to answer a question about. Two, to your point about talent and the work that we do, we're trying to help employers find ways to access talent in this market, and more often than not also to tackle the problem of attracting talent who is not from Louisiana to choose to move here. Not just because they might come from Athens, Ohio to move here for football, but also because there are folks that might be coming to work for a large manufacturer or a small business, and that it's a tough sell if that person has never lived here, never lived in Louisiana, never grown up in Baton Rouge. And so that we have to help that sell of why live in Baton Rouge. And then the third aspect of what a business owner can take advantage of, you were touching on a second ago, is to access the other resources that are available. We're often, you can think of us as a kind of a point in the center of a wide network of services. And you can contact our team, and we can help direct you to those other service providers or private or public that might help you with a business challenge you're trying to get addressed.
So, Adam, if someone wants to get more information about BRAC, what are the ways they can access you guys? I mean, you guys have an ambassador program.
We do. Yeah.
I mean, these are some heavy-hitting business leaders in Baton Rouge. How can they access information about you guys and get info on being an investor?
So a few different ways. One, the simplest way, of course, is always on the web. BRAC.org, BRAC.org is a wealth of information about who we are and all the aspects of what we do, as well as all of the parishes that we work in. The 9-parish region that we operate in has a big network of services for businesses to take advantage of. The second way is they can just simply pick up the phone, and I know that sounds old school, but it's actually
what's a phone?
Simple way to
people talking on the phone
talk to our team. So the names that you've mentioned are folks that are incredibly accessible and present, not only at our office but out in the community at events on an almost weekly basis to go out and be present and be active and to be able to be a resource to folks. In fact, we have a person, Michelle Mahaffey, on our team. We call her our business concierge, and the idea is that you can contact our business concierge and ask.
I'm acquainted with Michelle. Yes,
just about any question you want to ask, and she'll chase down a solution for whatever it is.
So when I get asked, and we have about 2 minutes left, when I get asked, is my business the right business to be an investor? And look, I'm a small law firm. Yeah. There are bigger law firms that are investors with BRAC. What's your answer to that? Yeah. I mean, is there such a thing as an inappropriate business investor for BRAC?
So if you don't care about the future of your community,
I love it. You
don't need to join the Baton Rouge Area Chamber. If you want to just let your company go without it growing its business opportunities or networks, then you shouldn't become an investor in our organization. And if you're happy to remain ignorant of what's available in the business community, you might as well not invest in the Baton Rouge Area Chamber, because our goal is going to be to make you help you and live out that belief in our community and the future of what is opportunity for our community, as well as the future of what's valuable and possible for your
Adam,
business.
I started Geaux Rouge because I love our city, and I want every facet of our city to be good. And one of the reasons we do this show is we want to celebrate people doing great things, including BRAC. So we appreciate you coming on here. I've got a hat, since Adam and I, Brian, share the same haircut. I've got a hat for you.
We must keep our heads warm.
Yeah, it's cold outside. No, now look, your hat's the Geaux Rouge hat, not the pimp hat over there. Not that hat. Yes. I appreciate you coming on, Adam. Feel free, if you do me a favor, take a photo at BRAC with you wearing the hat with some of your team members. I'll throw it out on Geaux Rouge.
I like the logo, by the way. I heard y'all talking about the origin of the logo on an earlier show.
So I did about the design. So for those of you who don't know, I'll reiterate it. For those of you who don't know, the logo is actually the elements of Baton Rouge from the different cultures. And there's, in fact, if you go to the GeauxRouge.net, I did a blog on why our logo is our logo. Yeah. Hat's cool. It's not nearly as cool as Sweet Baton Rouge swag. We're going to have Meredith coming on. So be
Thank
good.
You. Appreciate
While
the time.
Meredith gets into the studio, I'm going to talk about something we did last night. We got a little second or two to kill. Last night, Brian, I organized a cigar dinner at Perkins Row. Rouge Creole. Hey, Meredith, what's going on? So Rouge Creole catered the event. It was in conjunction with Havana Port. We had about 14 folks out there, men and women, and it was amazing. The weather was horrible, but we were undercover. We were the second floor of the movie theater. And in fact, this whole entire cigar dinner, Brian, morphed from when Steven was on the show. I think it was episode 2, along with Chelsea from Perkins Row. And they were like, You still wanting to do a cigar dinner at Perkins Road? I was like, absolutely. Absolutely. So it was an amazing event. I got a little trolling afterwards saying that why was I throwing an event in St. George, which I thought was funny. But, dude, this is one of those unique experiences I want to start doing more of in Baton Rouge. So shout out to Havana Port, shout out to Stephen Hightower and Rouge Creole, and shout out to Perkins Road. But enough about Geaux Rouge.
I love Rouge Creole.
Oh, my God, so good.
So good.
Oh, my God. We're going to talk about the 4 courses. I've got a VIP guest in here, Brian. I've got the famous, the generous Meredith Waguespack from Sweet Baton Rouge. How are you doing?
Hey.
So when I started this show, I started asking people, who are the people I need to get on to celebrate Baton Rouge? And, of course, Adam Knapp came up. Lauren Westbrook came up. And someone said, do you know Meredith Waguespack? And I said, well, I've met her before, but I don't really know her. Sweet Baton Rouge. Mm-hmm. So tell them a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm Meredith Waguespack, and I'm the owner of Sweet Baton Rouge.
What is Sweet Baton Rouge?
Sweet Baton Rouge is a Louisiana t-shirt company. So we are very niched into our Louisiana culture, bringing back a lot of state pride. Pretty much everything you will find on Sweet Baton Rouge, it all comes back to Louisiana.
It's local. It's all local.
And local, definitely.
It's local.
Locally owned, woman-owned.
Right.
And we have a pride for Louisiana.
So, and when she says local-oriented, let's not mince words. I mean, it's cool Louisiana shirts. You've got some hats. I really want to get one of those hats from you.
I brought 2 with me to do that you can have a Geaux Rouge giveaway.
I will do a Geaux Rouge. So, look. If you share this video, if Adam Knapp wasn't enough for you and you share this video, you'll have a chance to win.
Let me show you.
You'll have a chance to win a Sweet Baton Rouge. Oh, my goodness.
So you have, I don't know if this is the camera.
Yeah, that's the camera.
We have our LSU Tiger. This is licensed LSU. And then we also have our BRLA. Both of these are trucker hats.
So I may swap out. I may break the rules because I really like this BRLA trucker hat. I may swap you a Geaux Rouge giveaway hat so that I can have this, or I may just buy a whole bunch of these from you. So look, you're not just into fashion. You're also doing wellness stuff. I checked you out.
Yeah.
I checked you out. You're doing stuff to help people get healthier.
Yeah, I mean, we run, so Sweet Baton Rouge, it's a community within a community, if you want to say
I like
that.
it.
And Sweet Baton Rouge, we have our unique to Louisiana t-shirts. Then we also have our Don't Stop Just Go, which is a new brand. It started off as a blog, mostly because it was something for me to get back into fitness after an ankle surgery. But all in all, Don't Stop Just Go is a way for me to kind of live out my own personal passion, and that's to give back to women, to encourage women to get out and move for at least a minimum of 10 minutes. And so over this past year, we've had the opportunity to work with other community partners and do about 4 to 5 events this year. And we started our own Facebook group page for Don't Stop Just Go.
I saw some people in there that I knew.
Yeah.
So, and look, some men need to be moving for 10 minutes. I mean, Brian Haldane and I are in a weight loss competition, and I may have just gotten a leg up on him.
Okay.
He coughed this morning and threw his back out. So now he's like wobbling like an old man. So
that's legit. That happened this
that
morning.
really did happen.
It is.
Yeah. So like
in literal pain over
I
here.
feel like my Heisman chances just went up exponentially.
Well, and as we get older, I just made 40, and it's just like things drastically start to change as you get older. And being a CEO of a very growing business, it's also been just my new season of life where you really have to squeeze in time for yourself. A lot of self-care is talked about, empowering women. And so it's been a really fun new passion project for Don't Stop Just Go, and things I'm excited for to happen going into 2020.
So one of the things that's very important to me is we do something on the show called Women in Motion.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to showcase women that are entrepreneurs, that are movers and shakers, mommypreneurs. Mommypreneurs, that's right, I said the word mommypreneurs. So I want to talk to you briefly about what it's like being a woman that is a local entrepreneur that is doing all the stuff you're doing. What has that experience been like for you?
Gosh.
That's a big question, right?
It is a
You
big
can take it in
question.
like a cake,
Yeah.
like a giant cake from BRQ. You can take that one in parts.
That is a big cake. I mean, honestly, it's my company did not just grow overnight and
It was gradual, right?
It's been extremely gradual. It's been a 9 years worth of growth. We've had a few different name changes, but we're home with Sweet Baton Rouge now. And actually, in about a week or so, Sweet Baton Rouge, its actual name started last December. And so I really feel like our growth in our name, our business, has been very slow to where it's been extremely attainable. And we've been able to grow through employees to just our capacity has grown at a very nice pace.
So when I met you, it was actually at a Tin Roof event.
Yes.
It was like a little market event where she was slinging clothing and hats.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, it's great watching the progress because that's kind of how Geaux Rouge grew.
Yeah.
And candidly, as an entrepreneur myself, I'm a lawyer. I'm a criminal defense attorney. It's all gradual, right? I tell baby lawyers and I tell baby business people, not physically babies, but newer. I tell them you cannot jump in and think that on day 2 you're going to be a multimillionaire.
Yeah. And I think for me, like when I first started the business, watching other people in that same t-shirt spectrum, I was not happy with where I was at because I'm like, I'm not like where I need to be. And like, there's a lot of pressure on my shoulders and I needed to be where I thought I needed to be, but it's been a really great, it's happened exactly the way it's supposed to be.
So we got a little bit of time, all right? Brian, how much time do we got left? About a couple minutes, huh?
Yeah, we got 4 minutes left.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I appreciate that. What's on the horizon for Sweet Baton Rouge?
Well,
And what is Sweet Baton Rouge Insider?
So let me kind of break down all of our little mini brands. We have Sweet Baton Rouge. We're a t-shirt company. Got that.
Okay.
We have Sweet Baton Rouge Insider. It's just our blog that we love to share all about things happening in the Baton Rouge area. One thing about us as a company as a whole, we are driven on local. We're driven on sharing about other people's successes, local makers, local artists. So you'll see that across all brands that we honor and we work with. And you kind of get that how it's all one big connection. Right. We have local pop-up. That is a holiday-specific pop-up shop that we do. We just closed out our second one where we had over 50 small local businesses all participating, where we curated and built a store out there for 2 weeks and then moved out. And it's just a great way to showcase local artists and makers where they can come sell their goods. We manage it. We run the whole store.
That's awesome.
And so that's really cool. And then, and again, Don't Stop, Just Go. It's going to make a new approach going into 2020. And then we have Lanyap Box, which is where all of our local aspirations came from. Lanyap Box is a Louisiana subscription box where Sweet Baton Rouge designs a T-shirt, and then we seek out and work with 4 Louisiana businesses.
That's amazing.
They go in our box. And so Lanyap Box just made its 3rd-year anniversary. And so all businesses as a whole, we really are community-driven. We love local. We love Louisiana, and that's who we're all about.
So I told someone the other day, because one of the shticks I'm doing for Geaux Rouge is local holiday gift ideas for people. And it's easy for guys to say, hey, go get your guy a cigar or bourbon or whatever. But I actually told someone that the Lanyap Box would be an excellent annual gift for somebody, like a spouse. And say, look, you get a subscription or however you do it, and then just get it, and then you get all this good stuff. So now, look, if people want to get more information about you, Meredith, where are they going to go?
The biggest place to find everything about what I just talked about is Sweet Baton Rouge. So we're at Sweet Baton Rouge on Facebook and Instagram. You can also find us at sweetbatonrouge.com. And then all the other little brands that I just talked about, they're all sprinkled in within that one website.
So one of the things I want to reiterate, we got about 2 minutes left, is if you want a chance to win free goodies, that's free goodies. We got 2 hats here, right? The way you're going to win these, there's more.
And koozies.
So, and koozies. If you want a chance to win these free hats, these koozies, all you got to do, it's real simple. Go to 107.3, share the video that's happening now. Why don't you do me a favor and also go like Sweet Baton Rouge? I'd love it if you like Geaux Rouge. I'm going to get Jen from 225 to like Geaux Rouge before she leaves here today. She just doesn't know it yet. So look, all the good stuff you're doing, best piece of advice, we had about a minute left, best piece of advice for entrepreneurs out there who are thinking about putting their big toe in the water?
Go with your gut.
Okay, I like it.
And create your own balance that works best for you. Keep your head down. Don't look at others. And just go with your first instinct.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
being on here. We have a Geaux Rouge hat for you.
Yeah.
They're not nearly, it's right behind you. Grab one. It's not nearly as good as your trucker hats, but I wanted to make sure you got one. And look, before you leave, we're going to get Brian Haldane to take a photo with us. I'm going to pop on this beauty. I'm going to pop on this beauty. I like it. It has the trucker sticker on it, but it's okay. All right. Thank you, Meredith.
Thank you.
So, last but certainly not least, Brian, last but certainly not least, we love the 225 folks. We love the 225 and Register Business Report folks. So I thought it'd be good to have Jen from the 225 magazine on because I want to talk about new awesome restaurants in Baton Rouge. And Brian, I don't know if you know this about me or not. I like to eat out a lot.
What, you?
Me? Eat out?
This is
Come on
new.
in. Come on in, Jen.
New news. This is breaking news at this
So
point.
I've got some strong feelings about our Baton Rouge eatery places. I want to chat with her about some of the new ones. In particular, was she with you or? I have no idea. Somebody just walked by and waved. I didn't know who that was.
She was yours.
No, I don't think she's mine. Anyways, that's interesting. So 225 published a December magazine on hot new restaurants. There's other stuff in the issue, but that was the cover story. So I have Jen Tormo from 225 magazine. How's it going?
Good. How are you from?
So you've got to own this microphone. If you don't scooch up a little bit, nothing's going to be heard, and then Brian's going to yell at me later.
Okay.
All right.
Sorry.
So what is your role at 225?
So I'm the editor of the magazine. I've worked at the magazine now for about 5 years.
Wow.
It is the coolest job ever. I'm not originally from Baton Rouge, so it's been just an awesome way to get to learn about the city. And, of course, food is one of the biggest topics that we write about in 225.
Right.
Our team is just a bunch of foodies, and we do a weekly meeting every week where we just kind of sit down and we gossip about food.
Tell me more. Tell me more.
So, and we have a lot of arguments about food. We have a lot of debates about food. But what we really try to do is, be the eyes and the ears of what's happening in the food scene in the city. So we try to keep tabs on all of the new restaurants that are about to be opening up. We actually have a food e-newsletter called 225 Dine.
Oh, I'm acquainted.
Yes.
Yes,
Awesome.
it's very nice. So I wanted to spell. We had Mark Clements on here from 225 and who does the digital. I wanted to spell something for everybody that's listening and on your behalf. There is a clear separation between editorial and marketing, right?
Yes.
So if you are advertising in 225, that's pay to play. But if you
Correct.
are getting editorial love, that's not rigged or anything. It's I love this food. This is what I'm covering, right?
Absolutely.
So I dispelled that rumor for you,
Thank you,
on your
Franz.
behalf.
Thank you.
So let's talk. What are some of the hot new ones that you love right now?
Okay. Probably the biggest one right now, at least for me personally, I love Mid-City Beer Garden.
Right.
Just was an incredible opening for Baton Rouge this year. Stunning restaurant. If you haven't been, it is just...
So were you in Baton Rouge when Chelsea was still open?
I was. Yeah,
Okay.
I came in on the tail end of Chelsea's. I got to try the famous grilled cheese before it closed. And then about a year after I got here, Chelsea's closed.
My recommendation for the beer garden is Uber over there.
Yeah.
Parking can be a little tricky.
Yeah.
Fantastic venue.
Yeah.
The food, the beer selection, I cannot agree with you more. I think it's a great place. I live in Mid-City, but it's a bit of a strong walk for me.
Yeah.
So we'll Uber over there. Great climate in terms of the service is fantastic. That is a good, I like that pick. That's a good pick.
That's probably my favorite right now.
So what else is on your radar?
Well, it's not necessarily in this issue, but I also love Roca and
Okay.
Elsie's, a couple other mid-city eateries that opened in the past couple of years or so.
Okay.
But what we wanted to do with this hot new restaurants issue is we do this feature in 225 Dine that's called First Look.
Mm-hmm.
And basically what that is we send a writer and a photographer into the restaurant and just, introduce it to the community.
Right.
There's so many incredible openings that have happened over
I
the
agree.
past couple years. We actually started doing a roundup at the end of every year, looking at all the new openings for that year, and it just got to the point where it was so impressive with the just volume and amount of openings that we were seeing every year that we thought, let's make it a cover story.
So it can be overwhelming for people. So I eat out a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not good. It's not good, but I love the food in our city. There are people in this world, there are human beings, believe it or not, Brian, that don't eat out nearly as much as I do. And it's hard to pick that one restaurant, right?
Yeah.
If you only eat out once every couple of months, one of the things that's on my radar, and I'm looking at the cover of the issue, if I may, if you'll indulge me.
Please.
The cover is a big bowl of paella.
Yes.
And right now in Baton Rouge, there are 2 hot new restaurants that you can get paella at. Okay. One of the restaurants, I don't know if you were in here, we did a cigar dinner last night at Rouge, and Rouge Creole does a paella. It's a solid paella. I like Rouge Creole. Yeah. My favorite part about Rouge Creole right now, shout out to Brian Hightower, is it's in Perkins Road, but I'm sorry, Brian Hightower is former Catholic High grad. Stephen Hightower. You're right. My bad. They're brothers. Shout out to Stephen. But my favorite part about this paella, this restaurant, is that they have parking. They have parking in front, so the issues that you sometimes face at Perkins Row, not as much an issue there. The other paella place that I am in love with right now is I am all about Solera.
Yes.
Have you been to Solera?
I have.
What are your thoughts? Talk to me about it.
I think Solera is great. So it's a small plate concept. They do tapas.
Yeah.
But they do also do paella. I have not tried their paella yet, though, because I think it's only on Sunday.
Well, there's more.
Ooh.
They were doing it all you can eat on Sunday for brunch, and then they modified it to by order. And I was talking to the chef, and they are going to integrate it into the menu.
Awesome.
It is a big plate for one person.
Yeah.
So, but it is so good.
Right.
And look, it's by the same people that do Bin 77.
Yep.
So you have that same Bin 77 feel to it.
Yeah.
That is actually one of my favorite restaurants right now in Baton Rouge.
Bin 77?
No, Solera.
Yeah.
That's no love taken away from Rouge, but it's just where I'm at in the city. Now, one of my other favorite restaurants, besides Soji, which we'll hold off on Soji. I'm going to put Soji to the side. Have you been to Umami?
I have. I actually love Umami.
Umami is my faves. So we got about 2 minutes. Let's talk about what's next to K Street now.
Okay.
What is that new concept? Because y'all covered that, didn't y'all?
We did, yeah. That was opened by the Broussards. And basically what it is they have kind of like it's an indoor-outdoor space, and they also have a marketplace in there. And so you can go and you could do just like a quick pickup, grab and go lunch, or you can go get some cocktails at night, hang out on the terrace, and it seems like it's going to be
I haven't made it over there yet, but it's on deck for me. I'm going to get you back on the show because there's lots of stuff that you guys are doing that fits into what I want to cover. And look, thank you very much. I know you're incredibly busy. Thank you for coming today. I've got a Geaux Rouge hat for you. You're the only 225 person right now that has a Geaux Rouge hat. I don't
I'm
count
so
Mark.
Honored.
Thank you, Jen.
Thank you, and I did like Geaux Rouge.
Awesome.
So
awesome. So before we head out, Brian, it's important to remind everybody that the Geaux Rouge show is brought to you by Sullivan Steakhouse, Louisiana Tech Park, the law offices of Smith, Shanklin, and Sosa, a go-to personal injury law firm, Realtor Brittany Melanson at Keller Williams Red Stick Partners. Buy it, sell it, she's your realtor to go to, as well as the Borghardt Law Firm. Brian, I hope you feel better with that back, man.
No doubt. It'll be taken care of today.
Stinks.
It's happened before. I know.
It stinks to feel that way.
Everybody's been fighting this crud up here ever since the ESPN guys went to Atlanta for the SEC championship.
Right.
So like,
it's like a petri dish up in this
everybody,
place.
like Hanegraaff, Ott, they all came home sick, and it's been lingering around the building. Jay and Chuck P have been fighting in the afternoon. You're going to find out when you come do Jay's show today. Chuck P didn't have a voice at all yesterday, so we just made fun of him during the show, and he couldn't respond.
I am actually I'm actually going to be on Jay Cody's show. That's going to be the last thing I say today. I know we're probably out of time. This afternoon, I'm going to be covering as a guest, I suppose, on the Jay Cody show. I'm going to be bringing Jay some special firewater, if you will. you know, because Jay likes to drink occasionally on air. So I'm going to bring him a bottle of Blanton's. That's right, bottle of Blanton's. I'm not giving him the bottle. We're going to be drinking the bottle of Blanton's. I can't give Jay a bottle of Blanton's.
You're more than welcome to give Jay whatever you like. I am reminded regularly just where I'm at in the pecking order.
Dude, I invited you to come, but your back's hurting. So, anyways, look, guys. Again, if you want some free love, share this video. Go to the Geaux Rouge page. We do this weekly. We do this weekly show. It airs on 107.3, and then January 1, it's going to be on Saturdays at noon. So that's about it for this episode. This is Franz Borghardt. Brian Haldane's on Master Controls. Have a great week. Oh, this was good.